Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and this is going to be one of the most unique episodes you ever heard on our podcast before. This is one that I'm actually kind of worried about. So at Entrepreneur Academy Live, I had to run and pick Savannah up from the hotel. While I was gone, I left my podcast board, my beautiful Rodecaster, unattended with headsets plugged in and the power on. Well, what do you think that led to? That led to the kid contractor himself and Mr. John Pajack sitting down and having a conversation on my Rodecaster and documenting it while they did it. So this has actually been a really fun show. I forgot I even had this file. I sat down to record a podcast and I was going through my files. I said, I forgot this was even on here. So Caleb mentioned this when I got back to the conference center. He's like, we made some good stuff on there. Totally forgot about it. Just dug this file up. I don't even know what's on here. I listened to the first 5 minutes and they said they get into some value, so we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of entertainment on here. I mean, if you ever listen to Caleb Allman's podcast, Kid Contractor podcast, you know it's always a treat. You never know what it's going to be said, what's going to be going on in that show. But luckily, we got old John Pajack to bring him down to earth and bring the value to the show. John Pajack is an awesome guy when it comes to know your numbers and some financial coaching. John Pajack, financialcoaching.com, I think is what his website is. From what I heard in this episode, the little bit I did listen to, is that he's getting that domain changed. So we have actually done a few shows before. Previously on here, so you can go and listen to some of those shows that John has been on if that interests you at all. But let's get into today's show. I'm very excited to listen to this. I'm going to edit it all. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm going to listen to it live when you listen to it on Friday. And who knows? Maybe Caleb, maybe they keep this train together, or maybe they just take it off the train, off the rails and run it into the ground. But we'll see. Whether one way or the other, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun. And I know you're going to get a blast out of it to end the week strong here, heading into December. It's December. It's the last push here for the end of the year. And we all need to be padding those stats, making our numbers look really good at the end of the year, adding in that extra little bit of revenue. And how are we going to do that? There's a lot of different ways to do that. We're hanging Christmas lights right now. We just did a landscape install this week as well. Landscape tear out this week as well. So we're trying to keep things busy. This is always a good time of year to take off, to kind of slow down a little bit. We are slowing down a little bit, but at the same time, we want to keep that revenue turning. We want to keep this beast moving and growing along the way. So we're going to do a show in the near future here about some things you can do to add revenue to your business over the winter months, the slower months here, and keep your business moving and growing right along, because we don't want to have to file bankruptcy or anything because of the winter and what it's done to us because we weren't smart with our money. So, like I said, we're going to have a podcast on that coming down the road soon. But I hope everybody's doing well. I hope that y'all are enjoying all the past episodes from Entrepreneur Academy Live. This is the last one from the show. And like I said, I forgot I even had it. So this is going to be a real treat for you today. I'm looking forward to listening to it and seeing where all it goes. So if you enjoy the show, go check out Kids Contractor Podcast. Go check out John Pajack and get some help with your numbers if you need help with your numbers. And as always, leave us a big 5-star rating and review for this show, because that helps us grow and continue to grow the community one relationship at a time. So without any further ado, let's wrap this whole little 5-minute spill up at the beginning of the show, and let's get into the real entertainment with the kid contractor himself and John Pajack live from Entrepreneur Academy 2022 from the conference lobby. Let's get into it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Growing Green podcast. We hijacked Jeremiah's setup here. You may never even hear this file. I don't know. I got John Pajack with me here of the shortest website name ever, johnpajackfinancialcoaching.com. John, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Oh, no. Hold on, John. Hold on. Where's your... What mic are you on? You on 3? Try that again.
Hang on.
There you are. There he is.
There
He's
we
back.
go.
Let me kill 2 here then. I'm too.
You're
What,
two.
Jeremiah, what kind of setup do you? Good grief. Tell you what,
He's
they
got
call
the-
me mediocrity in broadcasting. I can tell you right now, over here screwing up his dials and all that kind of stuff.
You're messing up his whole setup.
This is what's fun about it.
Exactly.
This is what's fun about it. So, John, you just got in town here, man.
Yeah.
We're at LAL, Entrepreneur Academy Live here at Brian Fullerton's event. You missed some great speakers. I'll give you a little fill in here real quick, John. Nick Carlson this morning, Mulchmate, pretty much telling you to get your crap in order. That's a pretty good marching order there. Greg Whitstock telling you to get more organized. That was a pretty good marching order. James Mansky pretty much saying get your systems and operations in order and take care of your people. That's pretty good. The morning, what I was blown away by is like, hey, all these young kids here, dude, that want to, they say, John, everybody says, oh, nobody wants to work. Dude, you're in a room full of people that want to work. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's the dynamic is weird. They don't want to work for somebody else.
Right. They want to work. They want to work for themselves.
So, yeah.
It's hard to get a room full of alphas to fall in line under one organizational head.
Right.
But yeah, I'm sorry that I missed all those speakers because that sounds like it was great. Man.
Yeah. Now you drove the Silver Bullet in from
Northwest Indiana.
Schererville.
Yeah.
I'll learn to say it the right way. Schererville.
Schererville.
I'll learn it one of these days, John. Sorry.
It's okay.
Doing what I can here, man. What are you up to these days? We'll promote your stuff here real quick. Heck, we'll run a free ad on Jeremiah's show here.
Oh yeah. Well,
Hijacking.
obviously we got some things coming up.
Oh, we can do that too. Yeah, let's promote my stuff too while we're at it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think I'm really excited about this. At the Hardscape Academy this winter, we have multiple in-person training live dates.
Yes.
So the 2-day events and 1-day events, but if you go to the hardscapeacademy.com,
check out the store.
you'll see that there's probably 12 training dates.
Yeah,
at this point?
we're doing 2 a month through April here in 2022,
Yeah.
2023. So
essentially, that part, the Almonds and myself, John Pajack, Financial Coaching, which is getting shortened to johnpajack.com. But
you
anyway.
you were able to lock down the domain?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, not unfortunately that I could get it, but unfortunately for the previous John Pajack, he passed away. He was
lost him.
He was a Pontiac collector, of
Interesting.
of the vehicles, and
Yeah.
for probably 20 years he had that domain. So.
Well, John, tell us this. Let's get to some value here for the listeners. Instead of me being silly, you take us anywhere you want to.
Sure.
This is just a hijack of the show. What are some, with the inflation and costs rising on our consumption end as business owners, how do we combat that, John? What's your advice here from JohnPajackFinancialCoaching.com?
Really, you need to know, we say this all the time, but you really have to know your numbers. With the rise of inflation, with the rise of everything, any good that we touch gets shipped to us, anything, has gone up dramatically. So one of the things that you need to do is not only know what those things cost, but don't be afraid to go out there and try to find better pricing on these things. If it's
Shop out your suppliers.
shop
that
out your
kind of
suppliers, and also not to say that you're going to cut out the middleman, but maybe take it a step further. Instead of working with your wholesalers and things like that, look to see where they're getting their supplies from.
Yeah.
I know that seems kind of dirty, but there have been times when...
Well, there are suppliers where you're unnecessarily buying secondhand from a distributor or
Correct.
something. You do need to watch for that.
We did, because of the price of fertilizer this year, we realized that our supplier was not a direct wholesaler. They were purchasing it from another company who was purchasing it from the manufacturer. And once we discovered that, we were able to kind of circumvent one of them, and we still go through a wholesaler, but we get better pricing because they're not set up as a retail.
Right.
Because not to say that we're paying retail prices for their products, but
it was getting handled too many times.
It was
by
being
the time it
handled
got
too
to
many
you.
times. Like we found that there's like a 20% on top of a 20% on top of a 20%, increase. And when it comes down to it, when you get volume, anywhere where you could find discounts, or you could cut that double handling out, is going to help save the money, and you're going to be able to still be competitive if you're looking at price points.
There was a workshop that we were at here recently for LMN with Mark Bradley, which I'd encourage people to consider. Go into general education stuff as much as you can. I don't care where you go, whatever. But one of the things he was saying was try to get all your supplies as you can through as few suppliers as possible too. Now you still got to watch that,
Sure.
we whatever. But that was one place like, hey, I'm going to spend, if you can show or prove your past budget of like, hey, we've spent with these 5 suppliers across town, $40,000, $5,000, or $100,000 or whatever the number is. I want to bring it all in house and go to and not a plug for Site One, but a more all-encompassing supplier. What kind of contractor discount can I get at that volume, right? And that's what he was bringing up. He's like, only buy your plants at one supplier. See what you can get your pricing down to, and tell them you're going to buy all. Be it it's only $5,000 in material or $100,000. See what angles you can work. See what kind of terms of repayment you can get. Try to push those payment terms way out as far as you can. Help preserve your own cash flow, especially starting out in the season, that kind of stuff. And I thought that was really good advice. And it's something I've been then disseminating out as I'm getting out from other sources here. Sure. So what else, John, while we're hijacking a show here for maybe a couple more minutes? Just
going back to what you're talking about, there's pros and cons to that, putting all your eggs in one basket in a sense, or 2 baskets. It can be great where you can still get the bulk discounts and you're building that loyalty with them, and they will put you ahead of line. So if you say, hey, whatever block that you might be using for, say, a retention wall or retaining wall.
Yeah.
They may, hey man, we spend X amount with you because you're our supplier. What can we get in front of the line and get this product because we need it?
Yeah.
And they're more likely to work with you and still get you that good price. One of the only downfalls that I see is something that we experienced about 2 years ago, I think. In 2019-ish, one of our suppliers ended up, their doors closed. And we were kind of left scrambling because we didn't have a full order coming. We didn't have our year's supply come in all at once. And we had already budgeted for it, and this is our plan was based around their products. And then we ended up having to throw a...
We're hijacking Jeremiah's show.
Yeah.
Jump on here real quick, Paul.
We had to throw an audible. Paul Jameson's just got a camera.
Paul Jameson with the Green Industry Podcast too busy to stop and hijack the show with us. So,
but like I said, we had to throw an audible with that, and that's one of the only downfalls I see with, if you only have one or two suppliers.
Right.
But other than that, like you said, it does make a lot of sense to be loyal to one and to have. Get the best pricing.
Yes, we're hijacking Jeremiah's show for a minute. Brittany Allman,
Are we
wife.
Are we on the Growing Green
We're
podcast?
on Growing Green,
or we're stealing his board?
I'm stealing his board once I leave, but
No,
I'll leave the card because I'm a
in and
gentleman
out.
like that. But I am stealing all his other stuff.
You're in and out while you.
So Britt, how's LAL so far to you? You have a weird circle on your shirt there, a stain or something, right? I don't know if it's water or whatever. Anyways, folks, all right, Britt, how's LAL going?
Way to keep
I think
focused.
it's good.
Yeah, right.
The speakers have been great when I've been in there, and so it's really cool to. And a lot of the stuff is all stuff that I've heard before, or it's just a reminder. It's like, like some people's top 3 things are things that I've heard before, but I've only focused on one. So now the reminder gets me to part 2 and part 3.
Well, repetition is an important part of learning, right?
And your company's always at different stages. So we're at a different stage than we were last year, so different things apply this year.
Yeah, we suck just a little less than we do last year.
Or we suck at different things.
And that's true too. That's an interesting point. Like, we've regressed in some ways, I feel like. We've propelled forward in others. It's just such a fluid dynamic, I believe, anyways. You should always be improving, correct, but it's easy to regress in some areas where you put more emphasis on customer service. Say you take all your efforts and put it into customer service. Well, are you neglecting your team and your company culture because you're throwing way too much stuff at one? And that's what That's what I mean by that. So, trying to still evenly distribute your efforts, to where you kind of suck at everything equally, or you're kind of really good at everything equally, if that makes sense. But
yeah,
shaking your head works. Thanks.
I think Ms. Britt brings up a good point, though. Whenever you come to an event like this, you might have it's like drinking from a fire hose.
Right.
You get all these great speakers.
Yeah, exactly.
They drop a lot of knowledge. They drop all these gold nuggets and everything. But you could really only focus. The best thing you do, over years of coming to events like this, is really just cherry pick at least one or two, and then just focus on those, and then come back again, and then get reminded, and say, hey, you know what? I kind of forgot about that, or I have that written down in a notebook from years ago.
Yep.
I need to focus on that now.
For the value, I could walk in there and listen to one person speak and have enough information that I can leave.
Well, Nick Carlson was the first person out, and I'm like, yeah, I should go home and work on this stuff and totally change the business for the next year. And if people will act...
Now, I totally missed his because I was getting stuff ready out here.
It's real good. I hope the audio in the background's not too bad. It's pretty loud, but... it's all about that's something we always talk about together in the trades or whatever the thing is. We're on here just plugging everything we can at the moment. So Jeremiah's gonna be like, you freaking dirtbags.
I think we did that when we took over Brian's podcast once.
I know. Well, if Paul leaves his, Paul will be mad if we do it to Paul, but it'll be worth it.
Paul's also got a videographer over there, so we can make a whole commercial.
That would also be pretty funny.
We should do that.
I like that idea, John.
Paul won't be mad as long as we don't use his mic.
We'll cross over.
Because he's probably going to blame us if he gets sick after this.
Oh, right.
But he's got all the wireless mics, the lapel mics and everything.
He should be, really nice. He's got that fancy setup over there and all that stuff. Look at him. He's over there looking at us. He's like,
he wants to be over here.
You know he does. And he's like,
come on, Paul.
We invited him earlier is the crazy thing about it. So for the you can't do anything with this guy.
And the people that are listening are like, what is the point of this?
And
I can't see
John, this is rough when you're listening to the podcast. And hopefully, folks, you understand this is in jest. We're having a good time here, which is the point. Like here at LEL, come for the community, for the fellowship with other like-minded, lawn care and landscape professionals, hardscapers. There's a lot of people here you can talk to and lean on and get to know and share experiences with and lessons learned. And again, Troy Clogg is standing over there. Mm-hmm. He's got $100 million company, and there should be 10 people in line.
People in line,
or the whole damn place. Oh boy, should be in line to talk to Troy Clogg or Mark Bradley over there. Sitting, it was like, folks, that guy's got sold a $50 million landscape company. Why is there not 30 people in line to ask him some questions? It's just
there's 350 people here. There is someone in your shoes and someone who's been in your shoes and made it past that point.
And so it's just I've been bugging the heck out of everybody here so far and trying to garner what I can. But, that's the thing, folks. You have access for no more than it costs to come to this thing for a couple $100 roundabout. Dude, you got access to guys running some really big companies that can help you get where you want to go if you just ask them the questions and walk up there. So that's what I want to encourage people to do.
The thing is, it's not like they have security around them, or they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm too busy.
Yeah, there's no red carp, velvet ropes or nothing. They're open.
Every single one of these guys is open.
Dude, I know. And those guys, Troy's been over there talking to people. And again, Troy was on the Growing Green podcast here. I know Jeremiah was interviewing him. Those guys are here to help. It's not because, they could be, they're not here for money. They could be out skiing and doing whatever else they're into doing.
Or spending their money.
out, just doing whatever. But no, they're here because they want to pour, as Brian says, pour back into the community, and that's what they're doing here because this event cannot afford to pay those guys what they're worth time-wise to be here, and so they're doing this as part of their I don't want to say charitable arm, but it's a very philanthropist mindset from those guys, and awesome, and that's what we should all be striving towards, right? Is building ourselves up to a point where we can afford to give time back and information back, and that's why we need to strive to make successful, profitable companies so we can give back to the next folks coming up. And that's the way I look at it. Don't know if I'll get there or not, but we're working on it.
I think you're getting there.
We're working on it, John. John, by the way, in the lawn care world, how's Turf Tamer? How's the season close out and all that here?
It's going well. We had a couple little snags, but that comes with every business. You know how it goes with scheduling things. You have a perfectly routed schedule, and then things get messed up. But at the same time, we've had some new challenges this year, and like you said, it's different. Instead of being stage 1, you're at like stage 5.
Yeah.
And then you're starting to realize, like, wow, there's some challenges that we had that we never had to experience before. And it's kind of fun working those things out.
Yeah.
And then now, once you've gone through it, you have a game plan.
Right.
And what's forced, like for me, myself, I have been able to make systems to make that better.
Yep.
So, like, when this happens again, because it will, we have like a go-to plan, standard operating procedure that just takes care of that. And now I could train the next, one of my employees. I could just say, hey, listen, this is what we're doing for this. This is how we address this situation. We're not going to run around like there's a fire.
Yeah, right.
There's a structure to it, and we're just going to deal with it.
We're going to respond with calm clarity to any event that arises. I want to check here, make sure I'm not running. Okay, Mark Bradley's on here in 40 minutes, so we got lots of time. We're good. Anything else we want to close? We hijacked the show for 15 minutes here, 16 minutes. John, where can where can people find you, John?
Well,
Since we're plugging each other.
If you want to keep, the John Pajack FinancialCoaching.com is still available, but
there you go.
It's like I said, it's shortly coming to, the JohnPajack.com.
Well, you're not going to undo that domain, are you?
No, it'll still
I
be
was going to say, because I'm going to buy it if you do, and it'll be really funny when you want it back, because then I got you. Just like I own Brian's 10. It's also very funny. I am the proud owner of Brian's10.com, folks. So
you're the worst.
I'm the best. It's the best. It's one of the best moves I've ever made in my life. And I meant to buy it a long time ago.
It was actually so funny to do. Did you hear the story?
No, I didn't.
Well, I told Brian for a long time. I mentioned to him about like Brian's10.com, and he's like, no, he's like, that's not somewhere I'd want to send. This was like months ago. And then he was on our podcast, or I was on his or something. And I was telling him, I was like, dude, you better buy Brian's10.com or I'm going to. And I got on the internet, or I told Brett, I was like, Brett, I don't know how. I'm too dumb to do this. I'm just the idea guy. I was like, Brett, buy Brian's10.com. And we bought it that afternoon. And then Brian apparently got to thinking about it.
Later.
Yeah.
We get this thing, because once you buy a domain, you
this
make
is Brian
an offer
Fullerton,
on it.
by the way.
Yeah.
And Brian, we get a text message. He's like, can you believe someone has my domain?
Some a-hole has my domain trying to sell it for $5,000.
He had like a brokerage service, and so they offered like $500 or something like that. And he didn't know it was us, but I rebutted with $5,000. And then he went to $2,500.
And he texts us in the meantime. He's like, "Can you believe some a-hole wants $5,000 for Brian's10.com?" I'm like, "Yeah, what jerks?"
And we just kept going back and forth, and finally we told him. Then he was.
And he's like, "You people are the lowest." I'm like, I am.
But then
proud
his
of myself.
broker kept going.
Nice.
And he's like, I think I can only get $2,500 out of my client. I was like, well, tell your client that I'm insulted, and it's $20,000 now.
Nice.
And
That was the power move.
deal.
That would have been what I would have done. I'd have been like, it's 25 now, just because you upset me.
We're having fun like that, so that's how we roll. But don't lose Brian or John Pajack, FinancialCoaching.com, because I will buy it too. So
no, we got it for another.
Oh, we should buy. I wonder, is GrowingGreen.com available? We should probably buy that too while we're at it.
Quit giving everybody ideas, because now they're going to.
The thing is, people will do this and leverage. Like, I'm going to buy TigranGertz.com, and he's got that down. He's got that locked down.
We have so many domains.
We own a crap load of domains. I will tell you that. We have bought
anything
a lot
that comes
of
to mind like this. He's like, just buy it.
Yeah, off air, we're going to have to talk about what you actually, holding these hostage for people.
It's not hostage. It's some of it is
an unnecessary amount of money on domains every year.
Well, some of it is strategic. Like, hopefully, someday my golden ticket out, like PepsiCo decides they want like bluefloor.com or something. I'm just making an example, and it's like, all right, I gotcha, Pepsi. But no, some of it, like the Brian's 10 thing, is just out of fun. Like eventually I'll give it to him. Whatever. I don't care. We're just horsing around, but it's a fun thing to play with. And Brian, by the way, has his own share of pranks and tricks and things that he likes to do. That's his brand. Like the other night, he staged a birthday singing thing to Britt at dinner by the staff. And it's like, that's Brian's kind of funny. Sure. Me owning Brian's10.com.
My birthday's 4 months away. People have come up and wished me happy birthday here.
Well, I mean, it's
every year I wish you a happy birthday, but it's always on the wrong date because I have your birthday in my phone for some reason, and it's the wrong day. I don't know why.
Paul and Evan, they're like, "Hey, happy birthday, Brittany." I'm like,
"Yeah, see, it carries over." Oh. So that's Brian's kind of funny.
So every time we go out to dinner now, if there's an opportunity, we are singing happy birthday to Brian.
See, that doesn't bother him, though. That's his style, so he doesn't get bugged by that. But me owning BrianStin.com really eats at his soul, and I really enjoy that. We all have our own little.
In other words,
sick
the almonds
senses
are
of
horrible
humor.
friends.
No, it's just styles of humor that work back and forth. That's all. So
okay, so do we have anything valuable to give
no,
Jeremiah?
and Jeremiah probably won't
post
use any of this, and he shouldn't because his podcast is growing, if you will. Eponymously named podcast, Growing
It's probably
Green.
going to grow after this podcast.
Oh my, we're probably going to
Maybe
take it to the moon
Maybe
for
he'll
sure.
hold
with
this
content.
hostage. He'll hold the audio content hostage so that you're going to have to pay him to get this released to him.
He's going to say, "This is so bad, Mr. Producer. Just put it on cable."
Maybe can run it like afterwards as like an after show, kind of like here's a
show?
bonus episode, right?
This is the bonus episode.
Listen through this if you want.
Goes
Right?
off the rails.
Yeah, how it goes badly. All right. And with that being said, we got 21 minutes.
Okay, no. Give a good tip. Give a good.
Yeah.
Well, we did. I mean, we
Something.
did cover some good value stuff about combating inflation
Final
and some
words,
stuff like
Caleb?
that. Well, Brittany, final words from you, my love. People
I-
want to hear
I
you
just
talk.
had
They
the
don't
final
want.
words.
People don't care about what I have to say. People want to hear you and your beautiful voice. God, she does this to me. John drives me crazy. So Britt just did me the zip lips thing. I think the number one thing, like John was saying earlier, is it's so daggone cliche anymore. But you folks, you have to knowing your numbers now, and it's probably always this way. Knowing your numbers now is more crucial than it's ever been. We're going into like probably a financial tightening in the macroeconomic sense. Inflation is going to keep your prices are going to be going up for a while. God knows when they're actually going to plane out. And so knowing that squeeze is getting put on you and how you can then control and squeeze what profit you have to get out of everything. Knowing your numbers now is probably more important than it's ever been in business because we're on the back end of a bull market, so you can't just arbitrarily raise prices because you're just winging it. Like, you really got to know your numbers now because it's going to get tight, I think. Yeah. I'm afraid. I hate to say that, but don't get into scarcity mindset either.
No.
Because I was talking to a guy yesterday. He's like, yeah, I already noticed some clients are pulling back, and you can just tell he wants to utter I'm thinking about lowering my prices. Like, no, you cannot get in that scarcity mindset. Like, there's still clients out there that'll pay what you need to pay. You've just got to be marketing like crazy, which Mike Andy's had a great presentation today talking about marketing. Oh, my gosh. And, client acquisition costs and stuff like that. Like,
I think just with saying like with projects and things like that, instead of lowering the cost of the price or lowering the price, what you could do is start reducing, maybe just make those projects a little smaller.
Yeah, absolutely. Change the scope, right.
Because, the scope of work that you're doing, like especially with hardscapes, so you could have a patio, you could have a retaining wall, you could have an outdoor kitchen, things like that. They might want all of it all at once, but then when they see the grand total,
Right.
they say, okay, well, let's take the waterfall or
Right.
take the water feature out. Let's step back a little. What do you really want? Maybe you just want a fire pit and a nice patio.
yeah.
So that that you got to start thinking in those in that train of thought.
Yeah, without a
Gotten
doubt.
really good about that this year, like finding people's budgets out early.
Mm-hmm.
And people will say, well, we want a pond or one. It's like those usually start around $10,000. And if that doesn't fit in your budget, let's talk about like a bubbler or like a bubbling rock thing.
Sure.
And people are really open to it as long as you offer them ideas and suggestions of what they can get for there. Because
Solutions, right.
they see them in magazines. They don't know what they cost.
Right, and not only that, but they appreciate the fact that you're going to work with them to get, maybe they're not going to get exactly what they see in the magazine, but you provide a solution for them that's still like amazing.
A nice project. Yeah.
And it's a beautiful project that's going to beautify their home and really make them enjoy their outdoor living space.
Right.
But, it's not going to cost them,
Right.
$40,000. You're bringing it back down and say, hey, this one costs $10,000. We could do this and integrate it with your existing landscape and make it look wonderful.
Building the shops put that all into perspective. I don't, like in landscape world, I know what things cost.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like having a table built or picking out cabinets, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like the insulation. I had no idea the insulation cost as much as it did.
Sure.
And so I was like, okay, now I have the sticker shock that, a lot of clients have sometimes because they just don't realize what's underneath the project.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. Well, folks, for more of that, check out the next Growing Green podcast with your host, Caleb Almond, John Pajack, and Brittany Almond. We're kicking Jeremiah off the platform entirely. Folks, but in all seriousness, glad you listened to the Growing Green podcast. Jeremiah's a great guy. Him and Savannah are some good folks, and little
Mondays,
baby Jack
do
there.
Monday marriage talk.
And, he asked me about doing that. I don't know what we got to offer. But If we only had like a website we could send people to talk more about being together, like if you were together in the trades kind of thing,
yeah,
like
that would be a good
.com.
website.
Togetherinthetrades.com.
Wait,
We'll have to see if we own that or not. I don't know.
I don't know. I got the,
Someone should buy it.
Oh, wait a second. I think you might have it. Don't you guys have an event every year? That
Yeah.
you
Now
guys
see,
have?
that's
Yeah.
so the owning togetherinthetrades.com is where like I need like Dave Ramsey to come in and buy the domain for $480,000, and we'll have to split it with Fullerton. That sucks.
Maybe this podcast will make it over to Dave Ramsey.
So there you go. Jeremiah's got that kind of pull. But Jeremiah, you're a great dude. You're doing some great stuff here in the industry. Keep it up. And, folks, we'll catch you whenever we catch you on Jeremiah's thing here. John Pitch at financialcoaching.com. And Caleb and Brittany Allman, we're out here. John, anything else?
Good to go.
We're gone, folks.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.